Hey everybody, Coach Ted here, Ted Bear, aka Coach Ted, with another episode in Living Fully with ADHD, Saturday afternoon. I'm a little bit later than I said I was going to be. Got caught up in some other stuff. Hey, what do you know? I've got ADHD. Yeah, well, that's so I thought I would maybe stay on a little bit longer today, kind of do a fireside chat sort of thing. Talk a little bit about my history with ADHD, and maybe some other folks might come on. If you're watching me live, I'd love to have you chime in, leave a comment. What's your experience with ADHD, or if you have a question you'd like answered. So my history is a little bit of a strange one compared to most people with ADHD. I'm 73 years old, and I know, before you say anything, I know I don't look it. Everybody says that, but yes, I am. And actually, I wasn't, well, it wasn't even suggested to me that I had ADHD until about 3.5 years ago when I was working with a coach, Suzanne Blake, who, among other things, coaches people with ADHD. And I was complaining again for the nth time about my challenges being organized and how I couldn't get myself organized. And she says, Ted, I'm pretty sure you've got ADHD. And I go like, well, no, I don't think so. See, I learned about ADHD about 17 years ago, 1999, when I did a course in ADHD coaching. And one of the things I learned in my reading and from the instructor and so on was that in order to be considered to have ADHD, you had to have had it as a child. Actually, you had to have had it by age 7. And I had no indication as a child that I had ADHD. I had no problems in school, no issues with homework. Of course, looking back, I was also so bloody smart, and I don't mean, that's not bragging, I just am. I was like school smart. Other kinds of smarts, look back, not so much. I was so smart that I think it just got me through without any issues. When I got into college, even more so graduate school, then I started having challenges. But, you know, I always thought it had to do with being depressed and not ADHD. So when Suzanne said, well, I think you've got ADHD, I went, no, because I didn't have it as a child. But she said, okay, go online and take this, you know, online assessment and see what happens. This website called Psych Central, PSYCH Central.com. It has some really good information on it. So I took this assessment, and what? Lo and behold, I was right in the middle of the pack. Hey, Emma, nice to see you, have you on. Thank you, welcome. Please leave a comment if you have anything to say about your experience with living with ADHD, or if you have a question, see I can answer. So, yeah, so I took this online assessment, and I came out like right in the middle. And then I talked to my psychiatrist about it, and he referred me to somebody, and I did a kind of an evaluation test, and he kind of confirmed that I definitely have sort of mild ADHD. Well, it certainly shows up in the traditional ways of how ADHD shows up. I have really challenges being disorganized, challenges with distraction, you know, starting something and then I get some idea, oh, I want to look that up on, you know, let me look that up on the internet. And then, you know, like an hour later, it's like, whoa, where have I been for the last hour? I was just doing off, you know, they say down the rabbit hole. So I get distracted. See, I just did. I just got distracted. Focus. I don't really have hyperactivity. Some impulsivity, maybe more in decision making, but I have a lot of challenges. But as I said, it was a total surprise to me because I've been doing ADHD coaching for like over 13 years at that point. It was like I had no clue that I had it. So you can be diagnosed at any age. There's no, and actually, I've been reading some lately that they're talking about there may be something, they're not calling it exactly this, but kind of like an adult onset ADHD. That actually, you don't even have it as a child, but it comes on at some point, shows up as an adult, as a young adult or middle-aged adult. But all that is kind of being researched and so on, and it doesn't really matter. It's like whenever you discover that you may have it, then you need to look into it, right? So, let's see, what do you think about the fact that the doctor who came up with the syndrome then said he made it up? You know, I haven't. Somebody mentioned that to me. I've got to look that up more. I know several psychiatrists I've worked with actually. In my last my job, I worked at a mental health center in Boston where Ned Hallowell and John Rady were residents, and I knew them. And they're the guys who wrote Driven to Distraction. So I don't know why this guy's saying he made it up. There is a lot of science that shows there is this syndrome condition that's being called ADHD. That has to do with the way the brain functions. That's different from most people. So that's a great question, Emma. You know, I've been thinking about, I need to look that up, and now that you've mentioned it, I will definitely go see what I can find out about that. But as I said, I have read a lot about it. You know, it's like, I don't know, and I don't mean to denigrate this man and what he said. You know, it just on the surface reminds me of the people who say, well, there's no such thing as climate change. You know, but again, I don't know this man and what he's written, so I need to look that up. But so thanks for that question, Emma. That's a great one, and I will comment on it at another time when I give some more information. So, so what's it like with you, Emma? If you have ADHD, what's living with ADHD like for you? So, you know, if you want to answer that in a little comment, I'd love to hear it. Or if you have any other questions. And anybody else who's watching, if you have any questions about ADHD or you have some experience you want to share, please do that in a comment. So you say, suppose your brother has it, but you don't really believe it. So why don't you believe it? You know, ADHD has been shown to be very hereditary and about 85% genetic based. So so it runs in families. It's very likely that some of the ADHD has a parent with it. And in fact, that's one of the ways that adults get diagnosed is when a child gets diagnosed, whoever's doing the evaluation will, if they're doing it right, will check, okay, if it hasn't been already, you know, indicated that one of the parents has it, that they will check to find out. Because if a parent has it and it's not being treated, that can be really problematic for both the family and for the child. So, yeah, so why don't you believe it? I suppose you're saying the doctor has said that he has it. What about that doesn't fit with your experience with him? And I'm curious, have you been diagnosed with ADHD? I'd be interested to hear about that, your own personal experience. So I'm just sort of sitting here in my new office chair. I got this a few weeks ago because the other one I had for like umpteen years finally broke. So this is very comfy, big leather chair, rocking back and forth here. You see, I don't know if you can see, you only see the bottom of this little painting behind me. Let's see if I can show you a little bit more about that. Yeah, there you can see it. That's my favorite painting. It's done by a local artist here. It's called Water on. It's watercolor on wet paper. So I actually took a class from her and did some of that. You take the paper and you wet it, and then you paint on it, and the paint spreads in different colors, spread differently because they have different. Those watercolor paints the colors have some kind of metal in them, I think. Anyway, so they have different densities, whatever, and they spread differently, and it's really interesting and fun stuff. So, anyway, I don't know. I'm not sure how long I've been on here. Okay, Emma, because he just took a test, he's always been very active because of that. He had problems in school, but teachers didn't know what to do with him. Then older, has lots of problems, self-esteem problems, doesn't believe he can do certain things at school. So the medication seems to be helping. Yeah, it's self-esteem issues are really common with people with ADHD because of the struggles that we have. As I said, thank goodness that I didn't have that kind of struggle when I was a kid. But you know, I had struggles in graduate school, and I didn't finish. I was there for 5 years. That's how I got to Boston. I came to MIT graduate school, and I didn't finish partly because it was a struggle, and turned out I wasn't all that interested in it. And that's one of the big things about ADHD is if we're not interested in something, then we don't want to do it. It's so, you know, I wasn't all that interested. I was in economics, which I thought was kind of interesting, and I enjoyed it when I was in college. But, you know, so I taught there for 2 years. My last year's graduate school, I taught that. I loved that. I was really interested in that. I put a lot of time into that, but I didn't put any time into doing a dissertation, a thesis. And finally, after 5 years, I said, you know, they're not going to give me any more money here. They give me I've been there for 5 years. They paid the whole way. So, you know, that was a hit for my self-esteem. So, it's not, yeah, as you say, he doesn't believe he can do certain things, and that's not uncommon. And he can. It's probably a lie. It's just something that he. So you were recording. Is that a problem? I'm not sure what your question is, Emma. You say, sorry, I was recording. Is that a problem? Are you recording what I'm saying? No, not a problem at all. That's fine. If this can be useful to you, or maybe to your brother, or to somebody else you know, it's on Facebook. Yeah, not finishing something if you're not interested. That's a big thing for me. If I lose interest in something, it's like I'm on to something else. If I'm not interested to start with, it's like I have a hard time. You know, I have to really find a reason to do it if it's something that I really need to be doing. I don't enjoy going to the gym. That's a big challenge for me, and you know, I am gonna go when I finish this. I promise you. I promise myself. But I was gonna go Wednesday, and I put off till Thursday, and then Friday, and finally today. And it's like I have to do it. You know, as I said, I'm getting older, and if I don't exercise and keep my body fit and strong, it's like I'm going to be in trouble later on. So that's part of my story. It's like, yeah, if there's something I don't want to do, I either won't do it, or if I really have to do it, I've got to find a reason to do it. For you too. The gym, is that it for you, or you don't like to do something if you're not interested? Now it's so great. Thank you so much for sticking in here with me and communicating. I love it. It's really terrific. Where are you? Where do you live? I'm really curious. So I don't know. If anybody else is out there, I'd love to know that you're watching. And let's see, what else can I talk about? Anything else you'd like me to talk about, Emma? It looks like right now it's just you and me. Um, so, yes, the gym. You don't like the gym either, right? And some people love it. Really, some people like to run or lift weights or all that stuff, and God bless them. You know, I go to the gym and I see people there who are there all the time. These guys, big, strong guys, you know, they're lifting these big weights. They got big arms. It's like, oh my God, you know, I do my machines so I can. My back is strong and my legs. Yeah. You're now at the Frankfurt Book Fair. Frankfurt in Germany or Frankfurt, Kentucky? Barcelona. You live in Barcelona and you're in Frankfurt. I assume now you're talking about Frankfurt, Germany. That's awesome. That is so awesome. I've never been to Spain. I've met a few people from Spain. It sounds so beautiful. I've been to France. I love France, but and Greece. I've been to Greece. You've been to Greece, Emma? Oh, what a beautiful country. But I will get Emma. Now that you say, I'm gonna find a way to get to Spain because I hear it is so beautiful. Anything else I can tell you? I guess I'm kind of starting to run out of steam. I don't know how long I've been on here. Yeah, you're in Germany, right? Right. Because it's funny because I grew up in Ohio, and which is, I don't know if you're familiar with the United States geography, but south of Ohio, right below is Kentucky, and there's a city called Frankfort, Kentucky. So I would have been surprised though if that's where you were. So, well, as I said, I'm kind of running out of steam, and I do need to get to the gym. So, Emma, thanks so much for hanging in. You haven't been to Greece. Well, I can highly recommend it. It's been wow. Huh. It's been 36 years since I've been to Greece, 1980. So I'm sure it's changed, but it was so beautiful. We just had such a great time, and we went to out of the way places, not all the. I was there with my wife, who I'm no longer married to, but I'm not sure what you're laughing at. But anyway, Emma, thanks so much for being here. Enjoy your book fair in Frankfurt. Have a great time. Are you going anywhere else while you're in Germany? Nice talking to you. Thanks so much. And I intend to be here every day. Probably not for so long, but anyway, thanks so much for talking with me, Emma. You have a great time, and take care, everybody. Bye bye.